Good afternoon, good evening, grand rising. Whenever you are tuning in, thank you for tuning in to the Healing Room Tarot channel with me, Magoon. If this is your first time, welcome. I am an instrument for spirit to use as spirit pleases, so you will see me operate in a multitude of gifts at any given moment of time. And right now, I have all day been like led to do this reading, and I was actually getting ready to have me dinner because it is night here, and I couldn't do it without doing this reading first. So you're getting a very much cleansed me right now. Okay, I'm just getting directed some spirit right now. Spirit is definitely here. um I was led to grab this, so whoever needs to see or needs to see this or needed to see this emblem, this is for you. hmm Change, metamorphosis. That's what I'm getting. It's very relevant to things that are happening collectively. I even received a message personally talking about the same thing, but I really feel like there's like this big, huge metamorphosis energy that's happening right now. And with no further ado, I'm going to get into the reading. So, Spirit, what would you like the collective to know about this change, this metamorphosis, this era that we are in? Let us have it. Let us know what is happening. And towards the end of the reading, I will do a warning, something that we need to be aware of, warning wise, right? Make this okay. Um, I've also been in a light music mood, and I had to play Summer Walker, so I'm listening to her in my earpiece. Um, I'm very inclined and in tune with music, and I was like, okay, the mood is calling forth for a light music, and Summer Walker was the name that popped up, so I've been listening to her for about 30 minutes now, and I'm just saying it's very light and very beautiful. So shout out to Summer Walker and your artistry, ma'am. I love it. And one of my best friends' names is Summer. So double meaning. So I have not seen the cards yet, but I am going to open. So and again, this is for a collective read. The cards are not done, but I was led to stop right here to deliver what's there now. So just like you in the same boat, we're gonna see what came out. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, so I just heard to do a reversal reading. So reversal reading is where I talk from the last card to the front card. So you've been in this hermit mode in not the right way, where you're not receiving messages. Um, it's like you was kind of I'm hearing you were running on E. Um, that's the worst place to be. It's giving burnout. You was burning out a lot actually, and you try to make it work, and in the process you were being the magician in reverse, where you was trying, but nothing was coming of it at all. Nothing was coming of it, and it wasn't coming because of this devil energy. I'm trying to cover because this deck is very graphic. But that is this. It's a man actually right there that's kind of chained up. Um, I'll give a description. The devil actually has this man chained to his left foot. And the chain around the man is on the man's neck. So it's like a yoke. It's like the devil was kind of like leading these actions, leading this energy, this energetic pull, this addictions. I want to say is this yoke is one of struggle for sure, right? But I'm getting work related. I really am getting work related, and I'm getting work related because it's like when you have to do something. So say like your whatever your industry is, whatever they tell you to do, you do it. You have to do it, right? Because that's the policy. And it's like it just had you in this stronghold where you felt like you were bound, where you couldn't really move. And as a result, you again with this magician card, you were not manifesting, so your finances have been in restrictive flow. Like they were coming, but they were coming in trickling. And this is the Knight of Pentacles. And it's like it was like you were making money, right? You was making progress, but it was a struggle. And so now we're gonna see the rest, because now Spirit is telling me to move forward. Yeah, Ace of Wands. Now with this change, you have new energy. You have new opportunities. You have a new passion that's coming. For some of you, it's already here, and you just haven't realized it yet. That's what I'm really getting. Okay, this card really wants to come out. What is this? Um, it's actually two cards where it's like, and I'm gonna read them together. They're also wands. So you're making progress. So the Nine of Wands came out in reverse. So it's almost like you were not feeling prepared, is what I'm getting. But in it, you've been training. I don't get this is the Five of Wands, and I know the Five of Wands is usually like conflict, but it was like because you've been going through conflicts, you were always prepared. So it's like you don't have to worry about conflict because you are already prepared for it. You've already been through the struggle, the tip. What does they say? The tip and the tussle, right? You've already been prepared for that. So now, as you're going into this new era, this new passion, this new movement, you don't have to worry about being restricted. The only restrictions that I'm hearing is like from your mind, like you're causing them yourself. Yeah. Six of Swords in reverse. You don't have to go anywhere. Stay where you are. Because the Six of Swords is about moving in a new direction mentally. But for me, with how these cards are coming out, it's the energy of you don't have to go anywhere. Your peace, your solitude is here. You like it's like you create your reality. For those who've had I forget what they call the headsets. I used to have one where it's like you put it over your head and it kind of like it's like this, and like it gives you this whole virtual reality world. That's what I'm getting. It's like you create your reality. You create the spaces that you're in. And so you don't have to go anywhere because you are a creator, you are a magician, you are a manifester. So, in order to see your Knight of Cups, happiness, love, right? In order to receive this new cup of happiness, you have to create it. You are your own savior. You are your own knight in a white horse, right? I'm hearing self love right now for this one. You have to show yourself love, and let me say this: when we're talking about self love, your self-love will get you out of so many things. And I should know because I used to be depressed a lot when I was younger. And one day, Spirit and I had this conversation, and Spirit said, "You don't love me." And I was like, "Hold up. If there's anything that I do, if there's any people that I love more than anything, it's you and my grandmother, because me and my grandmother were like this, my maternal grandmother. Um, and because my paternal grandmother had passed away, for reference. But Spirit said, you don't love me because if you loved me, you would love yourself. Because if a piece of me is inside of you and you don't love yourself, that means you're rejecting me. I don't know who needs to hear this, but I'm really being led to tell you this. Like, you have to start loving yourself. And within loving yourself, you begin to love the creation of spirit, the creation of God, right? The creation that you are meant to put on a pedestal, not for vainglory, but to boost your confidence, right? When we pat ourselves on the back, when we give ourselves our flowers, when we give ourselves our trophies, what we do is we boost I'm gonna give it to y'all the way the spirit just gave it to me. You boost your spiritual immune system. So when things come your way, you are protected. You are already in, baby, you shooting bullets at me? Baby, do you not know that I'm fast at the speed of light like Superman? I am impenetrable. I am unstoppable. There is nothing that you can do to harm me. I have already been through the storm. And while I was going through the storm, I realized that I was the storm because I was the one creating the storm. I was the one realizing that the chaos that was happening in my life was all up here. And because I kept regurgitating it and replaying it over and over and over and over and over again, it kept happening. And until I changed my mindset, guess what? That storm kept going. But the minute I changed my mindset, that storm stopped. So I don't know who needs to hear that, but self love is the way out. Self love is your key in this season. Self love is how you're going to turn this into this, death into life. I just heard for some of y'all rebirth. When I did that flip, I heard rebirth, rejuvenation, renewal, winter to spring. No matter what season you're in currently, you can change it. You have to. I'm talking to myself too, but on some things because, and even in my own metamorphosis, right? What I begin to say is like, okay, well, what is the next step? What is the piece I'm missing? And one of the things that Spirit was telling me is that you have to change your mindset about you. You have to change your mindset about your situation, your outcome, everything. And so I started to do that. And one of the things that I started to do, I pulled out some older daily affirmations and I started saying them. And I've already begun to feel and see the changes. I begin to start talking positively to myself. I begin to dance in the mirror again. Right. Sometimes, and one thing, I also got the message because I did watch the interview. Oh my gosh. Why can't I think of my girl's name right now? Um, Thank you. Angie Martinez interview with Mary J. Blige. And both of them began to talk about her glow up and what she did. And she's Mary J. Blige, and I had heard this in previous interviews, but here again in this season at this moment and actually see it. And they showed a before and after clip. It's actually several. I said, "Wow, that's the key thing that I need to do." And one of the things she said, "I told myself, I love you. Good morning, gorgeous. Good morning, beautiful. Good morning, favorite child of the Most High." You know, when you start saying those things to yourself, you have to remember your body is made up of water, and water reacts to words. So everything you start speaking about yourself, everything you start speaking over yourself, guess what? It has to come to be, right? It has to come forth out of you. It has to transform you. And guess what? You transform by the renewal of your mind. That's actually scripture for those of you who um, prescribe to the scripture. The renewal of your mind says it doesn't matter what happens, what comes my way. I'm going to be a victor in everything, in all things. I'm going to be peaceful at anything, at all things. My finances are not going to stop because of this woe. It's going to still come, right? Even when people team up against you, it's like that. It's like, okay, so on Facebook they have the stories, the it's basically clickbait, and it's you pay for these little stories, short stories, right? And what happens is most of them talk about, in the fantasy world, they talk about how the younger person, or the person that was most bullied, is the most powerful. And because they don't know that they're the most powerful, these people keep picking on them until they show up in their full and true self. And then everybody's like, whoa, where did this come from? I didn't realize that this person was this person. I didn't realize that this person was this powerful. And so that's how you are. When you start to rejuvenate yourself, and people thinking that they're coming back to the same person, and then they realize that they're not coming back to the same person, baby, they got to yield to your power. They have to back up, because they can't run up on you like they used to run up on you. They can't talk to you the way they used to talk to you. They have to actually eat their words, swallow it, chew it, digest it, and whatever happens, happens, baby. Because guess what? Your spiritual team is not playing about you. Your ancestors and your angels are not, which is your spiritual team, right? Are not playing about you. I just heard your crystals aren't even playing about you, baby. For some of you, you pick up your crystals and you literally feel like a jolt, or vibrations, heavy vibrations. Baby, your crystals are being activated. There are some people that are very in tune to the earth, where like, especially if you have a green thumb and your plants come out fine every time, baby, that is a gift. Not everybody has that gift. I'm telling you that right now. All right, so what are some things that we need to be warned about, spirit, but also give us some things to help us fight it? Ah, so the first card that came out was Ryan. That is your freedom. So one thing, and I'm gonna show you the card. It says freedom. One of the things about freedom is, remember how I was talking about your mind and changing your mindset? It all begins in your mind. You're only in bondage as much as you think you are. And I say the same thing about age. I don't care how old you are, you're only as old as you think you are. If you believe that you're in your 20s, baby, and you're like 68, baby, be 20. Be a mature 20, but be 20, right? Because that brings you rejuvenation. It makes your cells conform to how you're thinking. That is why you have so many people that are older but look younger. It's not all the time just divine presence, because there are some people that are out there that are divinely youthful for a reason. I'm just going to leave that right there. But then there are others who are youthful because they believe it. Youth Youthfulness is inevitable. Like, okay, I'm going to be tapping into so many things tonight. So when I was younger and I was going to church, um I still go to church. But anyway, um there were times when I would read the scriptures and looking at how they talked about how people live to be 700, 800, 900 years old, still having kids. And I was like, how is it that they were living that long back then, and now we can barely make it to 60 and 70? Oh, no, ma'am. Mm-mm. So when people say, I don't want to live to be 100, baby, I want to live to 100. And even then, and even more than that. Why? You might ask, simply because I know that we can. I don't know where people decided that we were going to stop living at a young age compared to, baby. You telling me that we live to be basically for 1,000 years, and then we decided, oh, we're gonna start living a normal life. We're just gonna. Nobody really needs to live that long. We just stop at 80 if you want to. Stop at 95 if you want to. Heck, you can be 120. You're pushing it at 121. Just to let you know. Just no. And especially if Source is going to allow us to live that long, the reason why we have these 100+ year olds now is because Source wants us to recognize that we can live up there. We don't have to give ourselves a short spanned life expectancy. I don't care what type of diagnosis that you have. You can speak to your diagnosis and tell that diagnosis to come under subjection, under your rule, under your tongue, and that diagnosis has to come succumb under your tongue. You can say eradicate it and it will be eradicated, but you have to believe it first up here and then within your heart. And then once it comes into agreement, baby, you're tapping into that unyielding healing source of spirit, of source, right? This is why I call my channel Healing Room Tarot, because when you come to the room, expect to get a healing. Don't expect to leave the same way. Expect to get a message that is going to be life changing for you. And that is like all my channels are dealing with healing because I'm a healer. That is who I am to my core. I have always been a healer. I will always be a healer. I am much more, but I'm just, for this to intensive purpose of this conversation, I am a healer. And I can go on for a few hours or a few things that I have done in my lifetime where spirit has let me know you have this gift. Don't ever question it. And I don't. The next card, the Witch Doctor, Wisdom. And this is the thing. Don't let anybody play your intelligence. You know what you know because you get it from source. The thing about the witch doctor is that the witch doctor has gone on it, just like any other doctor, right? Has gone through trainings, has gone through teachings, has gone through lived life experiences that taught. So now the I'm hearing the witch doctor has now become the teacher. One thing about being a healer is that we don't just heal and let you go. No, we have to let you know what happens. We have to teach you what was the cause. We have to teach you how to pull up the roots. We have to teach you how to now. Um, you can come to us. We don't mind it, but we will rather teach you how to heal yourself, because there are some people who absolutely cannot heal themselves because mentally they are sick. But when you are mentally stable and you can hear yourself, that's like, okay, I'm gonna teach you how to do this so that the people that really need me, that really can't do and have the capacity as you, when they come to me, I can put my full intensity and purpose on them, my full focus on them. Thank you. Now I have Witch Metaverse. And this is in reverse. And these cards, these are the ones they want you to pay attention to. You live in a total different universe. You were physically, we are on the same plane, right? But spiritually, baby, you are somewhere else. Spiritually, you are a beast. And when I said that, I kind of thought about, I don't know, and maybe because I saw yesterday, I saw the gargoyles characters. And I hadn't seen gargoyles in a while, but it's like the gargoyles. You know how they were strong and beastly, and people was afraid of them. Well, they were afraid of them because they didn't realize they had already been there. And when you come into your strength, baby, spiritually, they can't. People can't touch you. You create your own universe. You create your own reality. We talked about that earlier. I don't. I feel like I don't have to go too much into that, but you create your own reality. So pay attention to what thoughts come into your mind. Stop them at the door. Stop them as soon as they start to form. Oh, I can't do anything because the universe aligns me to do anything. The universe aligns me to be able to do anything. I am powerful than any obstacle that comes my way. One of my favorite scriptures: no weapon that is formed against me shall prosper. And then I even like to extend it: no weapon attempted to be formed shall form. The next card, Ususi, nature. So some of you also need to spend more time in nature, get directives from nature. I know it's cold. Get a good 2-3 minutes of cold, fresh air where you're not being disturbed. If you watched Cards and Conversations, we talked about that. And I suggested to the people, don't even have your phones. Don't bring your phones. They're distractions. Don't wear your earbuds. Just go out there and hear nature. Hear what nature is saying to you. See what nature is flying around you or happening around you. Because right before the snowstorm, I saw nothing but cardinals. There's a lot of cardinals that live around here. But yesterday, I went outside walking my dog, and I saw two of the most brightest blue jays I have ever seen in my life. Like they were freshly hatched. Like they looked like they had a fresh coat of paint on them. And I said, I have never seen a vibrant blue like that ever on a blue jay. So I was just sitting amazed, and I wanted to take a picture. And then I said, no, just savor this moment. Savor this moment. And I just watched them fly around and play with each other. So they were baby birds, but still. Funny spirit. As Rule, pay attention. Again, pay attention to what's happening around you, but then also pay attention. I'm hearing pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to your thoughts. Um, Pay attention to the ideas that come to you, because those are seeds from the spiritual realm that are ready to bud. So I'm hearing this. Think about children of the corn. They were sprouting up out of the ground, right? So when these seeds come to you, these are seeds that are ready to sprout out the ground. That's what I'm hearing. Oh, and guess what? In everything that you do, you must do it in love. And guess what? Unconditional love is here. Everything that you do it in love, people. The key word under unconditional love was blueprint. So I'm trying to that is the blueprint for everything. It is the basis for everything. It will do the things that you never thought that you could do. Um, and the first thing I'm hearing is to have unconditional love of self. When you have unconditional love of self, again, you empower yourself. And when you empower yourself, you're able to extend that unconditional love to others because you're not drained. You're not feeling weighed down as much, right? Or at all. Let me be clear. Because when you give yourself unconditional love, you empower yourself, you rejuvenate yourself, you invigorate yourself in a new way. And baby, you become unstoppable. All right, last card. What are we getting? Enchantment. I was about to say, what is this? Celebration? And it literally says enchantment, celebration. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate your wins. Celebrate every little thing. When you wake up in the morning, oh, I thank you for waking up in the morning. When you go to sleep, I thank you for these sheets. I'm about to go lay down. Just be grateful and thankful for everything. Celebrate every little thing about your life. People may get tired of you, but hey, they don't know your story like you know your story. So go out and be great. Thank you, Collective, for joining me. Please come back. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you feel like this recording needs to be sent to someone, absolutely send it to them. Yes. Even if you got to tell them, just shut up and listen to what this young man has to say, do that. And if you're watching it because somebody told you that, now you know why they told you that. I'm glad you tuned in, and I hope you get and are receiving what you are receiving or need to receive in this season. Ashe. Until next time. Laters.